Magic Lantern Foundation came up in 1989. But there are interesting similarities between both. Although they're quite far apart, they both came up accidentally. They were not really something that we planned and thought out and made. They happened because they needed to be done. Okay, and in a sense, both had distribution at its heart. When we set up Magic Lantern, what had happened was Mane, Ranjan and I, with Sujit, were in this place called Saharanpur. Okay, we used to believe in working in the grassroots and making films for the revolution and all that. So we were working with this large group, which works really like partly as an NGO and partly as a trade union, with the rights of forest people. And we were working as communication people there. So we used to be working with theatre, with posters, with all sorts of stuff, but not films. We were screening films. While we were there was some kind of a movement and some sort of a struggle around the forest, rights to forest, the grass that grows. And we found, much to our horror, the press from Delhi appearing and reporting this, which has been a sort of a long 2-3 year long negotiated struggle, series of negotiations. They break down, people found another way of doing it. We found that the press was reporting this as a law and order problem. And to us, this was very much an issue of rights of people and also of survival, which is when we decided to make a film. Okay, we had no money, but we said, okay, we have to make a film. So we created Magic Lantern Foundation to sell this film, which we had called Because of Our Rights. So for the next 10 years, what we were doing was basically trying to work with films and change. So we worked with different groups, trade unions, NGOs, mass movements across the country. We meanwhile moved out of Saharanpur. Basically trying to do 3 things. One, we were trying to build a perspective of media use, because we kept feeling that, these people somewhere either overestimate media or underestimate it. They think that, we should all make a film and put it on TV. Making a film, but why? And, and not and underestimate television and its, its kind of consumeristic tendencies. So that was one series of work, perspective building workshops, etc. We also sort of, in that part, helped people set up film festivals. We also did a lot of trainings. We did huge number of people from not in formal schools, not formally necessarily educated, who became filmmakers and made one kind of films. And these are people often who were shadi video walas. So we trained them to, basically. We were really looking for people who did not want to go and join the television industry in the city, but people who'd be in the areas and work. In 2000, after being around for about 11-12 years, we decided to close Magic Lantern, because we felt that a lot of the things we started to do were being done. And also because we could see there's a technology shift happening. We were still working in VHS and all that, anticipated. And honestly, we were also tired. In another 3 years, about 2004, we came back now to distribute films, because we realized that this is a huge area which no one is really looking into. And but it took us 2 years to even conceptualize it, understand it, walk with it, and we started in August 2005. We call this initiative under construction, because it will always be under construction. It's kind of an archive dissemination model with a revenue model attached to it. That's how I define it. So it's non-commercial, it's really non-broadcast, we don't do television. It's non-theatrical, because here you're not allowed. So we have a preview committee that's spread around the country. We send the film out, and if the majority says yes, we'll take it. But that takes time, because a lot of them they're not all in the city, and a lot of them are traveling. But I think essentially what we are looking for is a film that has a certain integrity. I don't have any other way of explaining it. We have very new films by first-time filmmakers, which are not even classically very well done film. You'll see a film called Arzu. It's a very powerful film. And we have films which have done like 26 international awards, what is the quality, what is the common factor is that some kind of investment by the artist in that film and a sense of integrity. We don't do ads, we don't do corporate ads, we don't do NGO ads, we don't take them. So we're really looking for the filmmaker's own point of view. The model we use for distribution is based on Sage Publications, which is an academic publication, and they don't go into retail, which is direct marketing. So people have to write to us. We have a DVD, we have a collection of DVD. We are like a publisher. So we'll publish to order. The price is sort of jointly decided, price of the film with the filmmaker and us. We have a sliding scale of prices. So institution will pay more than individuals and NGOs. And for every sale we do, 65% goes to the filmmaker's royalty before costs. Now that's very important. I mean, a lot of people bandish these figures. Now I understand the market is also using them. We do an event in Delhi, but apart from this IIC event, which is large, we also do many other festivals called Persistence Resistance in Delhi. And we also take it traveling, because we are using this name to give it a certain kind of an identity, the screenings. And well, the audience is, you'll come and see, it's growing, it's there. It's in Delhi where, IIC typically can have 14 people in the auditorium for a documentary. We often have the house full sign up. But I think that's not the point. The point really is that, what are we trying to do? Why are we doing it? See, on one hand, we know why we're doing it in terms of the content. We have great films, they need to be seen and, sort of seen, discussed, etc., etc. But on the other hand, we are also trying to somewhere make a statement that, look, when it comes to the law and the legal framework, a documentary which is made with 2 lakhs, I can't say hire an auditorium, say, okay, come see this film, and pay some gate money for me to pay the projection. No. The laws don't allow me. And I think somewhere we are also, this is a statement saying that there is an audience, there are the films. Let's find a mechanism to bring the two together. One of the questions that's always asked of me, always, especially by the press, that, so what are you going to do to take this to the people? This is asked of all filmmakers. What are you doing to take this films to the people? In this kind of an invisible scenario where actually the documentary doesn't exist, so you have theatres which don't show documentaries, you have television which doesn't screen documentaries. Not anymore. One slot on DD and now NDTV, one slot. NDTV actually repeats slots, so better than DD. No funding for documentaries except that tiny amount that DD PSBT do. Why are people still making films? And if the films are being made, something is happening. So there's an invisible phenomenon. It's largely invisible. So all we are trying to do is to make this visible. We are saying that it's there, it's here. Take notice of us. See, this year we've broadly curated around the theme of boundaries. We've not looked for films on boundaries. The films that have come to us somehow or other fall into boundaries. We are showing films that we have signed on after the last Persistence Resistance. We are not repeating films that we have screened earlier. So, and of the 89 films that we are screening, we are distributing, I think, 75. I think the special features now is boundaries, the notion of boundaries. We have designed 6 very detailed, in-depth conversation with 5 filmmakers and a cinematographer, looking at the practice of documentary. There is a need to involve films with different people. There's a lot happening around the country, and there's a lot of crappy work also going on. Thanks.
Thank you.